I think there is too much of this fake it till you make it in SEO, where a lot of people pretend that they're big successful people, and the thing is they're so busy faking it that they never do make it. They don't put in the work. They're too busy pretending they've done the work, and you're not gonna get anywhere that way. Fake it till you make it. You've got to only fake it very occasionally and spend an awful lot of time making it. You know, I made no secret of the fact that when I was starting out, first few years, 8 hours a day on work and 8 hours a day on pure research. 16 hours a day spent online, and half of it was work, half of it was learning.
Not much or more. I'd start out by reading for 4 or 5 hours, then going to websites and deconstructing them for 4 or 5 hours to learn the techniques, because there wasn't someone out there saying ABC. If there was, it was probably me writing it.
Well, I was going to say, Brett did have that A to Z SEO guide, like over, I think, like a decade ago. But I mean, like, the one thing I will say, though, is all of us sitting here, though, as hard as we've worked, I'm not saying that we haven't worked hard to be in the positions that we're in, but we all pre-existed Fortune America figuring out there was money on the internet.
Yep.
So we did have years where we were fighting against other DIYers. We didn't have money, and we didn't have unlimited time and unlimited resources. And so we had to, you know, we worked those 16 hours days. We deconstructed everything because we couldn't just throw money at something and have it work. It was, we were figuring out the web along with it. And, you know, somewhere around, I'd say 2006, 2007 was when the Fortune companies really started to go, holy crap, there is a lot of money online, you know, that we're missing out on. And they started to throw money at the problem. You know, and I saw at least half of the people that we used to go to conference with years ago that went up against that type of you know, cash budget, you know, weren't able to compete. And I think that there's a lot of people that come in and they work for a company that's a large brand that has a large budget, and they learn SEO, but they learn a very biased SEO. Like this is the kind of SEO that works for a company that already has 3 million natural brand links. So yeah, you getting 12 links to a category page with a specific anchor text, you're going to shoot to #1, and they can be shady links because you have 3 million other links to mask those 12 very specific valuable keyword links. So I mean, like, you know, I don't try and pretend that people coming in today, we did have it, I don't want to say easier because we all worked really hard, but there was a much more even playing field, I think, when all of us got started, than what people coming in the last 2 or 3 years have had to go up against in terms of being a little guy against a big guy.
I think the days when you can be completely stupid about marketing and effective in SEO are gone, unless all you're doing is just churn and burn black hat stuff. Because, you know, any idiot skitty can still, you know, give me a couple weeks, I can have you #1 as long as you don't mind what comes a few weeks after that. No problem. I can do that for no money.
Being a smart SEO in this day and age is, you know, to me, is 1/2 technical, or yeah, I'm real technical. 1/3 technical. 1/3 being able to put yourself in the search engine's shoes and see what they've done and what they're working towards, more importantly. And 1/3 understanding how general marketing efforts affect all the shit you're trying to do in SEO.
Yeah, you know, that second point's a big one too, because I don't know. Terry and I used to be the one when we first started hanging out 5, 6 years ago. We almost worked the same, which Terry calls SERP out, meaning we spent tons of time looking at different search queries and trying to figure what was going on in this space and that space. And these days, it's like, go plug it into a tool. Run over here and plug this into a tool. We get that all.
Back in the day, you knew if #12 switched with #11. Like your eye spotted that shit. You didn't need to look at no list.
And that's it. Everyone's so used to pushing a fucking button now. Everyone wants to just go push a button. We get that all the time at the dojo. It's like, what tools do you recommend? And, you know, we're always like, the one between your fucking ears is a good place to start. And go look at SERPs and figure out, and then try to take it back from there to figure out what's going on. Don't go plugging some shit into some tool that's going to give you arbitrary numbers and if it's good or bad. You had to know your query spaces. And like you're saying, you knew when anything moved. You run off to the boards. Okay, anyone else seeing this? This is happening in this space today. Did anyone else see it?
Because SEOs today are so much into just the numbers of queries and stuff, they don't really think about what that user is doing on the search engine, like people who've been around a long time where we had no numbers. You had to sit there and kind of figure out now, okay, watch people search, ask people how they search. That's how we learned. Like, there was no numbers. There was no one writing about it. Trial and error. And a lot of it was just searching a lot yourself. Like a lot of these people now don't even know how to search Google. I mean, tell them
give them a task?
No, a syntax. Give them a syntax search, and that's the only way you can prove anything beyond a doubt is if you can't line it up with a test that doesn't line up with a syntax that you can test it and prove it on Google, the search engine, and see it in the results.
And further to what Ray was saying about point number 2, I think
look at Dan.
You need that history of knowing Google over these so many years to see where things are going. I think that's the other problem with people who aren't able to future-proof that cause some of these problems for their clients, because you've been around so long, you've seen how Google's progressively changed and evolved over the last 10 years. It gives you a sense of where things are going to go next year, the year after. So you're proactive towards what you're doing.
Yeah, but it works now, Dave, so you should be doing that. Doesn't matter that 6 months from now you got to remove it. It works now, so you got to do it.
It works for the other guy, Terry. That's the favorite cop-out, isn't it? So-and-so's doing it. It works.
Well,
it's working for them.
Now you're paying thousands of dollars to remove the links that you put up that I would have told you this is useless. This is a waste of time. Like, for instance, when Google started the thing about reciprocal linking, someone we all know really well, Jeff Quick, comes to me and I said, well, that won't work. He said, why? And I said, because 6 months from now, Google will just say all these links that are coming and pointing at one another, they just reverse that and say that equals 0, right? 1 from 1, and all your reciprocal linking goes for naught. Sure enough, it happens.